right. Hi guys. So we're back to talk a little bit more about fractions on a number line. Now I know fractions on a number line maybe seemed a little bit scary and a little bit like a lot of work yesterday, but we're going to continue practicing with it, and so hopefully you get a little more comfortable. So if you can't see these problems on the board, if you scroll down below the video, there's a picture of it and you can kind of work and follow along there. But you're going to want to make sure that you have your whiteboard and a marker or pencil and paper, something to write with so that you can follow along and do this with me. And then after that, you can go and practice a little bit more after. Okay, so we're going to look at number one. And number one says partition into 6 equal pieces and label each partition. So remember, when we say partition, that just means divide or cut, separate, okay? So if I want to have my number line in 6 equal pieces, how many lines do I need to draw? Right, 5. We always draw one less line than the number of pieces we want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's check. Is my line now in 6 pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so remember our candy bar example from yesterday? If you think of this as a candy bar, you would have now cut this candy bar into 6 pieces. So you could share it with 6 of your friends. Okay, now we need to label each line. Each one of those lines is what they call a partition. So what will my denominator be for all of those? My denominator won't change. It's always going to be what? Right, 6, because that's how many parts I have. Okay, so I went ahead and I wrote all my denominators because they're not going to change. But what about my numerators? Okay, well this is 0. So after 0 would be 1. So that's 1/6. This would be 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, and 5/6. What about this very last line? What would it be? Right, it would be 6/6 or 1. Because remember, anytime that we have a numerator and a denominator that are the same, it equals 1, okay? If I said to you, hey, eat 6/6 of my candy bar, that means I'm telling you to eat 1 whole candy bar. All right, let's practice the next one. It says partition into 3 equal pieces and label each partition. So if I want to have 3 parts, how many lines will I draw? What's 1 less than 3? 2. I'll draw 2 lines. Okay, now let's label them. This is 0. Well, actually first, let's determine our denominator. My denominator is how many parts does my line have? So my line has 1, 2, 3 parts. So my denominator will be 3. Okay, this is 0, so this is my first line for 1/3. Here's my second for 2/3. And then what would my very last one be at the end? 3/3, which is the same thing as 1. Good. Okay, number 3 says, partition into 8 equal pieces and label each partition. I want you to try this one on your own. See if you can label it, break it up into 8 parts and then label each part. After you've done it, you can hit play and come back to check it. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and check number 3. It said partition into 8 equal pieces and label each partition. Okay, so if I want 8 pieces, how many lines will I draw? Right, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I have 8 parts. Let's label it. So what will my denominator be for all of those? 8, because I have 8 total parts. All right, sorry, I'm trying to write fast, so it's a little sloppy. Now, we need to label each one of those lines with our numerator. So 0, this one would be 1 for 1/8. What would this one be? 2/8. Next would be 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and then at the very, very end, what would that be? 8/8, which is the same thing as 1. Good, did you get that one right? Awesome. So what you're going to do now is scroll down below to the practice part and you're going to try some on your own and then we'll check it together.